I'm Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I'm Curtis Jones.
I am Cody Gakpo.
Putting on the Liverpool top for the first time, it was a dream come true, and I'll never forget that moment.
Pre-order the new LFC 24-25 season Nike home kit now.
You can pre-order it today for delivery from the 16th of May at your official LFC stores. Online at liverpoolfc.com/store and on the official LFC store app.
You will never walk alone.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our quick publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC on a Wednesday, as we count down the days until the end of this poxy season that has gone poxy in the last 6 weeks. It wasn't poxy really before that, but in the last 6 weeks it has gone very poxy. More importantly, obviously, we're counting down the days until Jurgen Klopp departs after nearly 9 years at Anfield. Joining him on the way out the door will be Pepijn Lijnders, and today we have had confirmation that Pepijn Lijnders will be taking over as the new head coach of Red Bull Salzburg. Obviously, this is a great opportunity for Pepijn. It's one of the better jobs for a young manager to get, because you're almost guaranteed a level of success. Now, prior to this season, they had won the league title 10 times in a row and really and truly had very little in the way of competition. If you look back to when Red Bull sort of took over, they've won 14 league titles since 2006. They've also won 9 Austrian Cups and been incredibly dominant. Their relationship with Leipzig, their place in the Red Bull hierarchy, makes them a club with great reach in terms of players that they're, capable of bringing in. If we look at some of the players that have been there over the years, it's a very, very strong list, including, of course, our own Dominic Szoboszlai. Erling Haaland has been there as well, and countless other really good players who've gone on to have really strong careers. This has not been a particularly good season for them, though they do go into the final day of the season potentially in a position to win the league. Now, they've had a disrupted season. Matthias Jasli, who was the coach, he got sacked in pre-season because it turned out he was talking to one of the clubs in Saudi Arabia. They brought in co-managers, Florence Koch and Alexander Hauser, and they were in charge for a couple of days while they searched for a replacement. Then they hired Gerhard Struber, who'd been in the Red Bull setup with New York Red Bulls, previously manager of Barnsley. He'd been pretty poor at Barnsley. Then he was pretty poor at New York Red Bulls. And now, all of a sudden, he gets appointed manager of Salzburg. And they finished top of the initial regular stage of their Austrian league, which is done quite uniquely. But when the second phase began, what they do is, so through the first 22 games, which is the regular stage, Salzburg had taken 50 points. what they do moving into what they call the championship phase or championship round is they half the points. So they got dropped to 25 points. So their 4-point lead at the top over Sturm Graz became a 2-point lead, with Sturm Graz getting dropped to 23. And in the championship round, I think it's fair to say that Sturm Graz have just done really well and overhauled them. And they've got one game left. Red Bull Salzburg play Lask, who are currently third in the table. And Sturm Graz, let me see, they're playing Austria Klagenfurt, currently sitting sixth, who've lost 4 of 5. Sturm Graz are 2 points clear heading into this final game, and it would look likely that Sturm Graz are going to claim the league title there. The Austrian Cup final this year was Sturm Graz winning again, which again it's just another knock for Salzburg, who were dumped out in the semi-final by Sturm Graz. This has been a very disappointing season for them. You know, they get to a cup semi-final, they finish second in the league, and this is a disaster for them. They sacked Struber a few weeks ago, and they were linked with a couple of other people, but it seems now, I think after getting turned down by 1 or 2, they've landed on Lijnders. But he's going to go in there. He'll be favoured to win the league without question. The issue for him is that if he doesn't win it, he probably gets sacked. Like, they're not going to accept, oh, well, we finished second, so we go again. That's not going to work there. For them, it's win it or out you go. Really good squad he's taking over, though. Lots and lots of talent. There'll be some sales as there always is, but there's some really, really talented players there. Alexa Turksic, the left back they brought in from Fiorentina last summer, he's pretty good. You've got Nicolas Capaldo, the Argentine midfielder. He's really talented. They nicked him off Boca Juniors. Luka Sukic is very, very talented. Fernando is excellent. Moritz Kjærgaard, the big Dane, he's a tremendous player. Mads Bidstrup, he was in the Premier League for a while with Brentford. Karim Kanate is a big talent. Sekou Koita is a big talent. Omar Salet is a big talent. Lucas Gornado, it's been linked to a bunch of Premier League squads. Oscar Glosch is one of the names that's been linked repeatedly to top clubs at the moment. Strahinja Pavlovic, another big-time talent. Big giant of a centre-back. So he's going to have the tools to make it work. And they recruit really, really well. Like, their scouting system as part of the overall Red Bull scouting system is one of the best in the league. But it's going to be pressure on him from day one. Alisson's subject of Saudi transfer interest, but Liverpool #1 is very happy, according to This Is Anfield. Sources close to the Brazilian have told This Is Anfield that he remains very happy and is not pushing for a departure. I don't see Alisson wanting to go to Saudi. If it was Real Madrid or it was Barca, I would say, you know what, I can see that, and I can understand if he wants that move. You wouldn't want to stand in his way if he wanted that move, but neither of them are in the market for a goalkeeper. So where else would he go? Ranked, Liverpool's best chance creators of 23-24, Elliott and Nunez stand out. Okay. So they've used data from FB Ref. Ryan Gravenberch. Now, they're doing it per 90, so there's going to be some heavy lifting from per 90. Ryan Gravenberch, 10th. 0.15 XA per 90. 2 assists in 1,800 minutes. Luis Diaz, 0.18 XA per 90. 5 assists in 3,526 minutes. Like, when you play as many minutes as Diaz, per 90 works against you. When you play as few as Gravenberch, per 90 very much works in your favour. It's one of the flaws in using said way of measuring things. Dominic Szoboszlai, 0.22. 4 assists in 2,689 minutes. Harvey Elliott, 0.22. They've also got him down with 10 assists. I hadn't realised he had 10 assists this year. It's pretty good, but the XA is definitely bumped from per 90. Cody Gakpo. So why is Gakpo ahead of Elliott and Dominic when they all have the same XA? Andy Robertson, 0.24. Only 2 assists for Robbo this year. Did only play 2,100 minutes, but only 2 assists. 0.24 is also Trent's margin this year. That seems like it's probably a bit of a drop-off from last season. Darwin, 0.24. 13 assists. Trent had 10, Darwin has 13. Diogo Jota, 0.29. Only 1,700 minutes, 4 assists. But someone's going to need to explain to me how Darwin and Elliott stand out when number 1 is Mohamed Salah with 14 assists and an XA of 0.44, which is 0.15 higher than anyone in the squad, 0.2 higher than Darwin, and 0.22 higher than Harvey. It's double Harvey Elliott's. So how on earth is Mo Salah not one of the standouts? I really don't understand. I genuinely don't understand how Mo isn't the standout. Like, he's near double everybody in the squad and is double most of them. Anfield Road stands, final seats to be installed. Okay. Liverpool fans have little sympathy for Arsenal after City treatment. Iheanacho flashbacks. Obviously, Son missed a one-on-one last night. But you know what? It's not an Iheanacho moment. Because Iheanacho, that's just a horrendous finish. Son's shot is really well saved. Like, it's a really good save. It doesn't just hit the keeper. It's a really good save. Heung-min Son is the best finisher in the league, statistically. And it's just one of them where the goalkeeper's done really well. But nobody should have any sympathy for Arsenal fans for multiple reasons. In no particular order as to why you should have no sympathy for Arsenal fans. At number 1, Piers Morgan supports them. So, out the gap, no chance. Number 2, when we were competing with City, Arsenal fans were pleading with City to, and I quote, save football by beating us to the league title. Number 3, they can't even get to 90 points. If you can't get to 90 points in the modern era, you're not winning the title. Since Guardiola landed in England, the title's only been won with less than 90 points twice. Both of them by City, and both of them purely because they haven't needed to get to 90 points. Last season, they had 88 points with 2 games left. They were to play, I think it was Brentford and Brighton.
I'm Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I'm Curtis Jones.
I am Cody Gakpo.
Putting on the Liverpool top for the first time, it was a dream come true, and I'll never forget that moment.
Pre-order the new LFC 24-25 season Nike home kit now.
You can pre-order it today for delivery from the 16th of May at your official LFC stores. Online at liverpoolfc.com/store and on the official LFC store app.
You will never walk alone.
Now, if City needed to win those games, City would have won both of those games and won the title with 94 points. But they didn't. The title was wrapped up with 2 games to go. I think it was wrapped up with 3 or 4 games to go, but regardless. They switched their focus to the Champions League and just threw away the last 2 league games. The other time was the 2021 season, where I think they finished 12 or 14 points clear at the top of the table. They lost like 3 of their last 6 because they didn't need to win them because the title was wrapped up. They got 86 points, I think. But they could have gotten to 95, but they didn't need to, because they were focused on the Champions League, and they got to the final that year and obviously lost to Chelsea. Last year, they managed to win the thing. Like, if you can't get to at least 90 points against this City team, you're not winning the league. It's as simple as that. Every time we get into April, you look at the table, and if City can get to 90 points and need to get to 90 plus points, they're going to get there. Simple as that. This year, they're going to win the title with what? 92, 91. 91. And this is far from a vintage City team. It's far from a vintage City year. Saw lots of crying from the Arsenal fans last night. Oh, we're competing with the best team ever. It's the 3rd best Guardiola team. The Barca team is 1. And the City 17 to 19 team is 2. This is number 3. That City team, our team 18 to 20, Mourinho's first Chelsea, I would say Arsenal's Invincibles and United's treble winners, all above this City team. This is just a particularly weak era for the Premier League. People are of the mindset that it's really strong because there's 1 or 2 really good teams. Look at the bottom of the table for a more telling picture, when 29 points is going to be enough. In fact, 27 points would probably be enough for safety this year. That's more telling than what's taking place at the top. You used to need 40 to stay up in this division, or, 38-ish. Now 27 does it. The league is not very strong. There's a handful of good teams. There's 1 or 2 standout teams. There's a lot of dross. Chelsea are awful this year. They could finish 6th. Toon have been poor this year. They could finish 6th. United have been garbage this year. They could finish 6th. West Ham have been terrible for weeks and weeks and weeks. Going to finish top half. Brighton have had a disastrous season in terms of injury, in terms of defensive shape, in terms of individual performance in a lot of cases, and they're still likely going to finish top half. It's not a strong league. It's not a strong league by any stretch. But it's going to get there because Arsenal will continue to spend money because Arteta is a checkbook manager. City will continue to spend money. Chelsea are going to get better. Spurs are going to get better. Newcastle are going to get better. United are eventually going to sort the shit out. We will hopefully get better. The league will get stronger again. And if it does, in the post-Guardiola era, assuming City are still in the division, you will see the points tallies start to drop down. And teams won't be winning it with 90 points anymore. 85, 86 will be enough to win a tight title race. because more teams will take points off each other. What else have we got? Man City's hearing for 115 Premier League charges is expected to take place in the next few months. Premier League bringing clearer sanctions for overspending. We'll have a look there. Liverpool announce ticket criteria for an evening with Jurgen Klopp. Kefren Turam available for a bargain fee a year after Liverpool interest. Yeah, we should have signed him last summer. Much better player than Gravenberch. Instead, we decided to waste 35 million on Gravenberch. Let's see. Final seats being installed. So these are where the Annie Road meets the main stand. Just that last little portion there. And that will bring... that's 152 seats, and it's going to be part of the away complement. Yeah, right. Premier League to bring in clearer sanctions for overspending. A more transparent sanction framework is set to form part of the Premier League's new squad cost rules. The PA news agency understands. Clubs spending 115% of revenue or more on squad costs will face sanctions, but are set to have greater certainty upfront of what any punishment might be under the framework. The current profit and sustainability rules have been criticised in some quarters, in particular by cry artists from Everton and Nottingham Forest. I think Forest were harshly done by Everton, were not. Because sanctions for breaching PSR have been left to the discretion of an independent commission. Clubs, including cry artists Everton, opted against the introduction of a sanction framework in 2020. Well, so they've none of themselves to blame. Doesn't tell us yet what the sanctions are likely to be, but you'd imagine some of them are going to be fairly stringent, and some of them will probably just be a little slap on the wrist, because you couldn't be punishing big clubs too much. Then they might threaten to go and join the Super League again. And that threat still looms out there for everybody involved. Arne Slot should sell 4 Liverpool first team stars in hard summer transfer calls. Well, Arne Slot will not be making those decisions, so this is silly to begin with. Curtis Jones is expecting his first child. Anthony Gordon already has best mate at Liverpool amid transfer links. That is Curtis Jones. You can put them links firmly in the bin. Slot drops hint over Liverpool's summer transfer plans in messages. Do you know what? I kind of wish he'd just shut up now and stop talking. You can talk when you've been appointed, but for now, just shut up and focus on your own team. Slot's dream summer. Right, let's have a look at this. This could be funny. We're back to hopes and dreams again. What Klopp might do next? Probably go on holiday, I'd imagine. There's a lot of talk today around Diaz and him moving on. I'm very much in favour of Diaz moving on. So apparently, according to someone that didn't put their name to the piece, we should sell Kelleher, agreed. Sell Costas. I'd be more inclined to sell Robertson. He's older, he's more expensive, he'll bring in a bigger fee, and he's only got 1 year left in his deal. And Costas is more happy. It will Costas comfortable being the backup. And frankly, he outplayed Robertson this year. Diaz, okay, absolutely, yeah, fully on board. Ibu Kanate. Utter nonsense. I understand having some concerns about him and his injuries, but the notion that next season Jarrell Quansah should be ahead of him is absolutely pathetic, to be quite honest. Klopp making, weird decisions on his way out the door has no bearing on the future. Let's see. Oh, this is just about Dutch media linking Feyenoord players to us. Yeah, no, we shouldn't sign any Feyenoord players. Simple as that. Not one of them. Not one. There's not one of them there that we can't do better than. Right, Matt Addison. Liverpool agrees 3 transfers. Mohamed Salah contract done. Arne Slot summer in dream scenario. Well, frankly, if it's only 3, you should probably get better dreams, to be honest. Centre-back signed and key transfers sorted. Yada, yada. 3 big contract decisions made. Okay, so there's nothing of real substance there, just what everybody else has already been saying. Anfield Watch. I did see young Maguire had a piece up. I think it was about Diaz. Liverpool transfer bombshell as Luis Diaz reveals. I don't think it's a bombshell. I think we're more than comfortable letting him go. X-Red names Arsenal forward Liverpool need to sign. This is going to be something stupid, isn't it? Oh, apparently Glenn Johnson, noted boffin, says we should sign Gabriel Jesus. Ex-Liverpool player and Klopp protege could replace Arnie. So that's Nuri Sahin, who also played for Feyenoord in his career. Liverpool fail in €120 million move for Real Madrid attacker, claims sensational report. It's Rodrigo. There's absolutely no chance we offered 120 million for him. And there's also no chance Real Madrid would turn down 120 million for him. A couple of pieces about Slot, a piece about why Trent Alexander-Arnold's Real Madrid move won't work. Likely, I'm not even going to bother reading it, but it's likely that he wants to play in midfield. He's not going to get a game in midfield for Real. Slot slammed by fans. I hope this is about people being annoyed that he just talks so much about the thing. Oh, I'm expecting yada yada. Just wished. Liverpool fans can thank Anthony that Mohamed Kudus is playing for Everton. I actually had forgotten Everton came close to signing him. No surprise if Klopp's strangest signing, Luis Diaz, is shown the door. That's the piece by Sam Maguire. Well worth your while reading, though I don't agree that he's the strangest signing. I think signing a midfielder that doesn't run was the strangest signing. AnfieldIndex.com. David Lynch reveals his picks for Liverpool's end of season awards. Piece about Lijnders, piece about Julian Ward, piece about Kefren Turam. Podcast-wise then, there is Post-Match Raw. If you haven't listened to that, give it a look. There is Monday Lynch Time with Dave Davis and David Lynch. There's also Ben Boxack joining Dave Davis for Stat Me Up. And there is a new Under Pressure entitled Villa Mess. It is Dan Kennett, Cy Brundish and Phil Barter. So do check them out when you have the chance, and I will see you all amorok. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
Sports Social Podcast Network.